All right, what's going on, guys? It's Luke here. Today we're gonna run through the market, gonna break down everything. Obviously, I had that break-even trade. If you guys check my last video, is the trade recap, but I do these every day where I break down the market every single day in the Discord. So if you guys want to join, links in the pinned comment. Again, code LukeX Alpha top one. So go check that out if you guys want the best discount available. And let's get right into this. And I'm gonna highlight in this video talking about conditions. I already have a video on this, but I'm gonna go through it again because this was really like the highlight point of the day. So coming into the market today, what was I looking at? I was willing to trade either way. Okay, starting from the top, we had an SMT off of previous day high. You could see that NQ failed to take out the previous day high. ES did, therefore we had a bearish SMT. On the 4 hour, we had an extremely bearish candle closure, or not closure at the time, but the 4 hour was extremely bearish. And on the 1 hour, we had formed this gap right here, right here. So when I see this huge 1 hour gap right here, and I have sell side below and I have buy side above, I have to use this as a condition. Now, what's a condition? A condition basically means like you have to use it with like if statements, right? So you say if price comes up into this 1 hour gap, shows us clear rejections, then I will look for shorts towards our sell side draws. But if price comes into the 1 hour gap, which is our condition, and trades through it, then I can look for longs towards our buy side draws, right? So for sell side, what did we have? We had at the time these lows, right? No, Asia was already taken out. We had this low right here. Let me just mark it out. We had this low over here, we had this old Asia low, and then we had previous day low. So those were our sell side draws. So again, from here, I'm looking at this 1 hour gap right here as a condition, and I'm saying if price comes into this 1 hour, I want shorts. If we trade above this 1 hour, I want longs. And that's what you need for conditions. You want to be using higher time frame gaps, or you can use it for draws. So let's say, for example, previous day low is a condition, right? So how do you treat this? Okay, so what do we have below previous day low? This is previous day low. We have this unfilled 1 hour. So this is how you could treat draws and liquidity as conditions. You could say if price sweeps out previous day low and clearly shows that it wants to flip bullish, maybe we get an inverse entry or something, then I will look for longs back to the upside. But if we sweep out previous day low and we continue to displace lower and show continuations lower, I will look for shorts towards this unfilled gap. So that's how you can use conditions for draws as well. It doesn't have to be just gaps, but again, in this case, we're using a gap. Again, we trade into it, we reject. If we get confirmation, we want to short. If we trade through it, we long. And then same thing with these draws. If we sweep the draw and we show a clear reversal, like with an inverse or displacement back to the upside, we can look for reversal longs. But if we continue to displace, we want continuation shorts to the next draw. That's how you use conditions. Now that I knocked that out, we're going to go through basically how the entire day, how the session played out, right? And how I know a lot of people got break even today. A lot of people took losses today. And thankfully, I was able to avoid that and walked away with just a break even day. So market opens up initially. And what do we get? We manipulate up into this 1 hour gap, which is our condition. And we tap into the CE of the 1 hour gap. I believe we also tapped into a 15. Yeah, we tapped into this 15-minute gap you could see right here. I didn't even notice that till after I seen somebody mention that. So we tapped into our condition. So again, what are we expecting, right? If we get confirmation for shorts and we clearly look like we want to go lower, then we will short. Otherwise, if we trade through this gap, we want higher. But obviously, we put in this SMT. As you can see, NQ sweeps out these highs. ES fails to right here. And we're rejecting off our condition, which is the 1 hour gap. And we have an SMT at CE of this gap, which is the midpoint, right? So at this point, I wanted to short. The only issue was I just honestly wasn't prepared because we got a 30-second inversion. And I think the candle closed at 2:30, I believe, like right here. So imagine there was a 30-second. You can't see it on this chart. Personally, this would have been my stop, probably something, because obviously I'm not going to put my stop up here. You could have maybe put it above CE of the wick. So maybe if you take like this, but even then it's like kind of like you would have gotten break even on that trade 100% anyway. So again, this would have been your fill. And maybe if you went in with a tight stop like above this wick and you just went for a quick 1-to-1, that's pretty much your only shot you would have gotten a win there. Otherwise, you would have been targeting this low right here. You probably would have gotten stopped out or you would have gotten break even, right? So I personally didn't like this. What I wanted What I wanted was a 30-second close. Like, I wish the 30-second, for example, closed like here. Say we got a 30-second close like that. And it, or the 1 minute, whatever. And it gave us a 30-second version. We got it like this, went like this, and then would have targeted this low. Again, it just kind of happened so fast. The 1 minute just closed too aggressive, and I just decided to fade it. Again, you could have got away with the 1-to-1 with the 30-second with a tight stop. But again, if you wanted to extend your stop, you either you probably got break even, which is just unfortunate. So from there, what did price do? At this point, we were just chopping around. Now, at this point, what I'm thinking here is if we continue to displace higher, I was willing to kind of take longs back up to this 930 wick, because I'd like, hey, maybe we could trade up to this and then resweep it. But I was like, if we get displacement lower, then I'd be willing to short. Now, what do we get here? We get this 1 minute inversion. Now, I personally faded this trade because if you look back, okay, on the replay tool, this is what PA is looking like at this time. Like, do I really want to short at that? Like, personally for me, I didn't like this. Could you have taken it and then targeted the lows down here? Yeah, I think you would have gotten break even though. Maybe not, but if you went break even at these lows right here, you would have gotten break even. I don't know. I just really wasn't a fan of this, to be honest. And then if you got a bad fill, you probably would have gotten break even on this wick. So personally for me, I just seen we were in chop. So I wanted to see like a continuation play a bit lower, right? Towards the next draw, which was going to be these lows down here. So going up on the time frames again here, we got this 3 minute close. I think we inversed. Or maybe we didn't. I think we just inversed that 3 minute. I can't actually, no, maybe we didn't. No, we didn't, but we got it on this candle right here. So I guess you could have taken this 3 minute right here. You could have ran your stop up above the wick, and then you could have targeted that low. But again, this probably would have been break even as well. So again, it was just a lot of break evens, I feel like. And then again, from there, what does price do? Okay, price come back into this 3 minute gap. As you can see, we're in this small 3 minute gap. And at this point, I wanted to take this. I was looking for the 2 minute inversion, but the 2 minute closed so bearish, it took out my break even. So I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to fade this and wait. If you did take this 1 minute right here, this would have been a good trade. You could have gone break even here, and then you could have targeted to the next couple draws. But I don't know. I just didn't like that. Personally, I was being a little bit more picky, and obviously from there, price just dumped down, ends up taking out these lows, ends up taking out these lows, ends up taking out these lows, and then we edge previous day low. Now, what do we have at above previous day low? We have an unfilled 15-minute gap right here. So I was like, okay, maybe we're going to edge previous day low and just continue up to that 15-minute gap, which is what ended up happening. But do we get any entries over here on this leg up? No, we just kind of slowly chop up. Now, this is the trade that I take. I'll run through it again. If you guys seen the trade recap, you already know, but I'll run through it really quick. Basically what happens, we already tap into the 15, but then we come back and we're respecting this 3 minute bullish gap right here. So at this point, I'm like, okay, CE, this 15-minute gap is wide open. Like, we could easily come up and take this out, right? So I scale down. I'm looking for an entry. We get this out of the 3 minute gap. We get a nice 1 minute inversion with nice displacement. I enter there. 1029 stops below, and I was targeting break even here and then CE the 15, because I'm like, if we can get past this internal high, we're probably going to flush towards CE. We get in some drawdown, price comes up, I go break even right on this candle closure. I'm like, okay, it's gotta just flush higher. Even if we get a pullback, it should just flush higher, and obviously we get break even, which is the good move because we would have gotten stopped out. Now, could I have gone for the 1-to-1 and just tightened my stop up? I don't even think I could have got that. It would have been like 0.9. Yeah, so I couldn't even do that anyway. So I don't know. I actually think this was a good trade. I managed it well, so I can't complain. Again, it was kind of against the bias at that point, but from there, what does price do? It taps into that 15-minute gap. And again, this is another example of a condition, right? We have this 15-minute gap. If price respects this 15-minute gap, we get confirmations for shorts. What are we doing? We're looking for shorts towards previous day low. And if we flip this 15 and we start trading higher, I want longs towards that 930 wick. So from that 15-minute gap, did we get anything? No. Well, personally, I didn't see anything I liked. We had this 5 minute. I was kind of see if we maybe got a 5 minute inversion. I guess we did here, but I didn't like the candle closure. And at this point, it was like 10:30. The candles were just chopping and chopping, and I could not see any volume or displacement that I actually wanted to take a trade on. Obviously, there's going to be like setups and stuff. It doesn't really like I don't know. I didn't see anything I personally wanted to take that made me confident that price is going to go lower. I just seen back and forth candles, back and forth candles. From there, price ends up dumping to previous day low. And then what happens from previous day low? Again, we can treat it as a condition. If we get clear reversals off previous day low, we can look for longs. Otherwise, we're looking for shorts towards this gap. So what happens from that 15 or from sweeping previous day low? I don't know. I was off the charts at this point, so I didn't see, but I'm sure you could have pretty much taken anything here, and you could have targeted longs all the way up to that 930 wick, which just got taken out. It looks like we're heading towards previous day high, but it is the end of the day right now. But anyway, this is how you guys use conditions. You wait for price to tap into them. And you say if you get a rejection out, you're looking for shorts. If you flip it, you're looking for longs. And it's the same thing with draws and liquidity. But anyway, that's it for this market breakdown, guys. I personally wasn't a fan of today's price action. Again, one break even on the day for me, but can't complain. I'll take a break even over a losing day. So if you guys took any trades, let me know what time you guys entered, what trades you guys took. But that's it for me. We'll be back at it tomorrow, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.